6.
Feed 2-1, taxi into position and hold.
Roger, Tower. Feed 2-1, position and hold.
Eagle 8-1, break to pipeline.
Sentry 1, this is Falcon 1. We're established in the cap. Request picture.
Roger, Falcon 1. Sentry 1 shows the picture. Clear in all lanes.
Good news, Sentry 1. Looks like they're taking it easy up north today.
Hold, Falcon 1. We have a situation developing. Mandumi is under attack. Engaged with ground units.
Flight Cougar has the nearest target. Heavy group.
News tonight, North Korea declares war on
K-Stars reports multiple mechanized units.
Boomer flight. Spike. Range 15 miles.
Democratic People's Republic of Korea launched the largest military...
Reporting massive troop
At least 4
sectors
groups.
1, 2, and 5.
Maneuvering all trailers hot.
Falcon 1, snap 030, 10 miles. A single hog is engaged, defensive with a fulcrum.
Falcon 1 copies. Radar hits there. We're on our way.
Fulcrum has lock. He's all over me.
Falcon 1, tally, tally. Engage defensive.
He's firing. Break, 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 break. Jeez.
Falcon 2, cover me. I'm in. 2. I've got lock. Fox 3. Missile away. Tracking. Tracking. Splash 1. Sierra Hotel Falcon 1. That fulcrum driver is now a smoking hole in the ground.
Falcon 1, heads up. Multiple targets inbound. North, 20 miles.
Holy copy, Sentry 1. Looks like the start of a very busy day.
The Demilitarized Zone, or DMZ, divides the Korean Peninsula into 2 enemy nations. It's a farcical name for one of the most heavily defended strips of dirt on the planet. To the north, the repressive DPRK regime has built a massive army with one purpose: invading the south. Its leader is an unstable megalomaniac who is driving the country deep into poverty while he builds vast monuments to the Stalinist state. A leader who is seeing his military might rapidly eclipsed by the sheer economic power of his southern enemy. The South appears well protected by the combined forces of the ROK and the United States. From a Western perspective, an attack by the North would make no sense. But faced with a stagnant economy and pervasive starvation, the DPRK regime has little left to lose. Along the DMZ, the soldiers of the combined forces wait for an attack, which now seems inevitable.
North Korean invasion forces have begun an all-out assault on Seoul. South Korea is pouring its best troops into the battle in a desperate effort to defend its capital. U.S. ground and air units are also heavily committed in the house-to-house urban fighting. Effective air cover and support should be the key to repulsing the DPRK attack. There are 3 key missions to be performed. BAI strikes to block North Korean reserves attempting to join the battle, close air support to assist the army at the point of contact, and combat air patrols to prevent enemy air from harassing the defenders. If Seoul falls, the North will control the major invasion routes down the peninsula. The combined forces have stepped up their air and artillery strikes on Pyongyang, while the ground forces advance closer to the city limits. As the combined forces inch closer to victory, the campaign to destroy the North Korean war machine has gained greater urgency. A spate of irrational communiques from Kim Jong-il have threatened to scorch South Korea with nuclear weapons, chemical weapons, and rockets. It is believed that the North still possesses large stockpiles of chemical weapons and at least 3 nuclear devices.
DPRK forces have retreated from vigorous fighting south of the DMZ. North Korean battalions have suffered too many losses to maintain forward positions. In Pyongyang, military leaders downplayed the setback, although combined forces tanks are now only 150 kilometers from the capital.
In the past few days, fresh troops and materials have arrived from America. In addition to these arrivals, recent battlefield successes have raised speculation that the combined forces may be launching a new offensive. The combined forces leadership, of course, refuses to comment on operational plans. but increased air activity indicates that a sizable offensive is underway. Air raid sirens blared across South Korean cities after China's entrance into the war reinforced the North's faltering air forces. People moved calmly off the streets and into shelters to wait out the incoming airstrikes. At an emergency security session, South Korea recalled its ambassador to Peking, while its army braced itself against the waves of Chinese infantry heading to the front. Despite the odds against it, North Korea made a desperate military gamble and attacked the South. The combined forces army proved equal to the challenge and repulsed the invasion before it gained much ground. The turnabout has left the DPRK army retreating, with the combined forces in pursuit. The battle has gone so well that the South Korean leadership is openly talking about uniting the peninsula under the flag of the ROK. To succeed, the combined forces must keep the pressure on the Northern Army to prevent it from reorganizing. Dissension over this plan is surfacing in the UN, which technically exercises control over the combined forces. China and the CIS are leading a coalition of member states calling for a ceasefire and restoration of the DMZ. The war rages on unabated as the politicians debate. The US is committing fresh air and ground units, hoping to maintain the momentum of the counterattack. After a marathon session at the UN, negotiators have hammered out a ceasefire agreement acceptable to all combatants. Effective immediately, the hostilities will end. U.S. pilots performed adequately given the difficult situation. The conflict has revealed both the capabilities and the limitations of air power. Negotiations continue in an attempt to remove the underlying conditions which caused the war. Meanwhile, Koreans on both sides must assess the damage, rebuild, and pray this does not happen again.
The combined forces of the Republic of Korea and the United States have achieved victory. The price has been high in both dollars and lives, but the cost of defeat would have been far higher. It is time for the Koreans to rebuild their cities and their lives. The success of the U.S. effort was due in no small measure to the determination and skill of American pilots. The Air Force has proven once again that it is the best fighting force in the world. U.S. soldiers can return to their families with the gratitude of the Korean people, proud of a job well done.